Alright, hi guys, this is part 3 to what if female Deku was King Ghidorah. Now, I'm sorry for not posting this earlier. It's just that I just didn't really feel like posting the video at the time, so that's why this video is out a lot later than normal. Sorry about that. Now, I want to tell you guys this. You guys might need to look out for a video that I might possibly post on the 8th of October. So look out for a video on that day. And if you want to know why that date specifically, look up what game came out in that day in 1992. Alright, so I will continue the series right now. So where we last left off, I believe it was after Izumi's training with Ryoko. As we'll fast forward a couple months to her hanging out with Rodan. Now at this point, Rodan and Izumi have become really good friends. Hold on, give me a minute. Sorry about that. As Izumi and Rodan are hanging out. Now they're outside, but they're at I'll say Dagobah Beach. And I'll say Izumi and Rodan are both currently 11 right now. Because they were 10 last time, so they're 11 now. As they're currently cleaning up Dagobah Beach. As they'd gotten permission from the city council to use their quirks, so Izumi's currently using her other two heads to clean out the garbage that is built up on the city, and is using her gravity beams to basically destroy. Jesus. Sorry about that. As they're currently cleaning up the beach, Izumi asks Rodan about his quirk. More specifically, why his arms are replaced with wings. And Rodan explains that his quirk is a mutation type, and that it is labeled as Titanus Rodan. As Rodan would then ask about Izumi's quirk. As Izumi would say that her quirk basically allows her to summon these two heads, as you see here. Along with the gravity beams, I can also manipulate time and space, and regenerate and summon typhoons, and basically gives me the ability to fly. As Izumi would say that her quirk also specifies her due to its strength. It specifies her in the alpha type. As Rodan would find this quite interesting, as he would say, so you're basically more of a leader rather than a follower. As Izumi would say, well, you could say it like that. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that, as they would end up finish cleaning the beach a couple of hours later. As Rodan would say, wow, we got that cleaned faster than I thought we would. As Izumi would say, well, that's what happens when you have two people with powerful quirks working together. That's what you get. As Rodan would say, hey, do you think we should try training our quirks since the beach is clear and the time limit to use our quirks isn't up yet? As Izumi would say, sure, why not? As they would be training with each other for the next couple of hours, as that's when as once they finished, that's when the time that they can use their quirks for has ran out. As the Rodan would basically be smoking at this point from the lightning bolts they was hit by, as he'd basically be panting as Izumi is currently just brushing off some dust from her. As Rodan would then say, "Okay, I knew you were powerful, but I didn't think you were this powerful." As Izumi would say, "Well, maybe in a couple years you could probably match up to me, but for right now, not really." As Rodan would say, "Okay, so how about we make a bet? If we get into the UA has a sports festival for every year for all the year groups. So if we both get into UA, how about we both end up fighting each other? We will fight at our full power. How does that sound?" As Izumi would think about it, as she'd say, "It's a deal." As she would shake Rodan's hand. Oh, hold on, I should probably get a picture for Rodan. Sorry about that. As we'll flash forward a couple years. Now, UA is a college in this one. Oh yeah, and sorry. Anyway, this is what Rodan looks like. I'm sorry I didn't get a picture for the last two parts. It's because I was very lazy, but this is what Rodan looks like. So yeah, they're both finishing up high school, and Rodan and Izumi are currently 18. Rodan looks like he does in the picture I showed you before, and Izumi looks like this. As the teacher would come out and basically hand out the sheets of people who are, as he would hand out their teacher would hand out sheets for the places people are going for their colleges. As, like, the teacher doesn't say who's going to UA, because that is a technical breach of privacy for the student, and it really should be any information that a student should share, and not the teacher. Because I really believe that would be personal information of where a student is going for their college. Anyway, enough of that tangent. As Izumi would say, as a bunch of the kids would ask Izumi and Rodan where they're going, as they'd both say that they're going to UA. Now at this point, Rodan has discovered that he can submerge himself in lava and cover himself in this obsidian-like armor to cover his body up to protect him from full-blown blasts from Izumi's gravity beams or anything else. As people would agree that Izumi and Rodan would go to UA since they are technically the two strongest students there, and Izumi is one of the smartest people in the school. As Izumi and Rodan can end up walking to their respective homes, as Rodan would say, "So do you think we should train with each other for the 2 months before UA?" As Izumi would say, "Yeah, I think we should, because we're both technically the strongest students, so it would make sense that the strongest would work together. Plus that roar that happened at my birth due to my quirk, I should really try and work on that." And the Rodan would say, "So you mean that call you made?" As Izumi would say, "Yep." As Rodan would say, "I think it would be a good idea, because it basically broadcasts around the entire planet, so it makes sense if we're separated, you'd be able to broadcast that towards me." if we're halfway across the planet from each other. As Izumi would say, in what scenario would we both be halfway across the planet? As Rodan would say, one day there's going to be that instance, and we will need that. If you guys are wondering, yes, Rodan will be the comic relief. As Izumi would snicker a bit, as she'd say, okay, I'll keep that in mind. As they would both end up walking home to their respective houses. And that is where I'm going to end this part off. Now, I do want to tell you guys this. After I reach 1,000, which we are rapidly approaching, and I thank all of you for doing this, I do plan on doing 3 what ifs after I reach 1k. That being the ghoul one that you are going to be surprised by, as it's going to be a crossover with one of my. I'm going to be doing it with one of my friends, and the third one is going to be one that was suggested to me a while ago, which is the gargantuan leviathan. So I do hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you all next time.